You're sitting there, wondering why you keep attracting narcissists and other toxic types into your life. You're not alone in this struggle, and it's essential to understand why this happens to you, so you can break the pattern and cultivate healthier relationships. In this video, we will explore the reasons behind attracting these people, define narcissism and toxic types, and discuss the impact these relationships have on your life. First is understanding narcissism and toxic types. Narcissism is a personality disorder characterized by an inflated sense of self-importance, a deep need for admiration, and a lack of empathy for others. People with narcissistic tendencies often appear charming and confident at first, but over time, their true nature is revealed. They can be manipulative, controlling, and emotionally abusive, leaving you feeling drained and unappreciated. For example, imagine your partner frequently demeans your accomplishments, making you feel insignificant while they boast about their achievements. This is a classic sign of narcissistic behavior. Toxic types encompass a variety of personalities that can be harmful to your emotional well-being. They may be passive-aggressive, emotionally unavailable, or overly critical. They may also be overly controlling or display manipulative behavior, making it difficult for you to maintain a sense of self-worth. For instance, you might have a friend who constantly belittles your opinions, leaving you doubting your own judgment. This person could be considered a toxic type. The impact of these relationships on your life can be profound. When you're in a relationship with a narcissist or toxic person, you often feel emotionally exhausted as they drain your energy with their constant need for validation and control. You may also find yourself walking on eggshells, trying to avoid their wrath or manipulation. For example, your partner might become angry or sullen if you don't spend all your free time with them, causing you to sacrifice your own interests and friendships. Over time, these relationships can erode your self-esteem, making it difficult to recognize your own value and assert your needs. As you begin to understand the characteristics of narcissism and other toxic types, you can more easily identify the red flags in potential partners or friends. By recognizing the patterns that attract these individuals into your life, you can start to break the cycle and form healthier, more supportive relationships. Stay tuned as we delve deeper into the reasons behind attracting toxic relationships and provide valuable tips for breaking free from this destructive pattern. The reasons for attracting toxic relationships. Low self-esteem and self-worth can be significant factors in attracting toxic relationships. When you don't value yourself or believe that you deserve better, you may unconsciously seek out people who validate your negative self-perception. For example, if you grew up with a critical parent, you might find yourself drawn to partners who put you down because it feels similar. It's essential to work on building your self-esteem and recognizing your worth so that you can attract healthier relationships. Codependency issues can also lead to toxic relationships. Codependency is a pattern of behavior where one person relies excessively on another for emotional support, validation, and a sense of identity. This dependency can create an unhealthy power dynamic, making it easier for a toxic person to manipulate and control you. For instance, if you're always trying to please your partner and can't stand the thought of them being upset with you, you might be more susceptible to their emotional manipulation. Boundary issues are a common reason people attract toxic relationships. When you have trouble setting and maintaining healthy boundaries, it becomes easier for toxic individuals to take advantage of your willingness to accommodate their needs at the expense of your own. An example of this is, if you're always saying yes to your friends' requests, even when it's inconvenient or goes against your values, they may start to expect and demand more from you, leading to a one-sided and unhealthy relationship. Childhood experiences and attachment styles can play a significant role in attracting toxic relationships as well. Your early experiences with caregivers shape your attachment style, influencing how you relate to others in your adult relationships. If you experience inconsistent or unreliable caregiving, you might develop an insecure attachment style, making you more vulnerable to toxic relationships. For example, if you grew up with an emotionally distant parent, you may be drawn to emotionally unavailable partners, repeating the pattern you experienced in childhood. The first example of that is insecure attachment styles. If you experience inconsistent, unreliable, or unresponsive caregiving, you might develop an insecure attachment style. There are three primary types of insecure attachment styles. Anxious preoccupied. Individuals with this attachment style tend to be overly dependent on their partners, fearing abandonment and constantly seeking validation. They may be drawn to toxic relationships because they crave the emotional intensity and the constant reassurance that they loved. Dismissive avoidant. People with a dismissive avoidant attachment style often have difficulty trusting others and tend to be emotionally distant. They may be drawn to toxic relationships because it reinforces their belief that others are unreliable, validating their need for self-reliance and emotional detachment. Fearful avoidant. Those with a fearful avoidant attachment style experience a combination of anxiety and avoidance in relationships. They may be attracted to toxic relationships because they both fear abandonment and closeness, leading to a cycle of emotional turbulence that feels familiar. Furthermore, unresolved childhood trauma, such as emotional, physical, or sexual abuse, can also contribute to the formation of toxic relationship patterns. If you have unresolved trauma from your past, you may unconsciously seek out relationships that mirror the dynamics of your childhood as a way to try to fix or resolve the original trauma. Lastly, there's also intergenerational patterns. Sometimes toxic relationship patterns can be passed down through generations. If your parents or grandparents were involved in toxic relationships, you might have learned these patterns as the so-called norm and unconsciously replicate them in your own relationships. It's essential to identify and then break these cycles to avoid perpetuating unhealthy relationship dynamics. Understanding the role of childhood experiences and attachment styles in attracting toxic relationships can help you identify the root causes of these patterns and take steps towards healing and personal growth. By acknowledging the past, you can break the cycle and work towards creating healthier, more fulfilling relationships in the future. Familiarity and comfort with toxic patterns can also contribute to attracting toxic relationships. Sometimes, even though you recognize that a relationship is unhealthy, it can feel more comfortable than the unknown. Familiar patterns from your past, even if they're toxic, can provide a sense of security. Breaking free from these patterns requires self-awareness and a willingness to confront and change deep-seated behaviors. Identifying red flags. Beware early of warning signs of toxic behavior. Being aware of early warning signs of toxic behavior can help you avoid getting involved with the toxic person in the first place. These signs may include excessive jealousy, constant criticism, controlling behavior, or a lack of empathy. For example, if you notice that your new partner is always questioning your whereabouts or trying to dictate your wardrobe choices, it could be a red flag that they have controlling tendencies. Recognizing manipulation tactics is another crucial step in avoiding toxic relationships. Manipulation can take on many forms, including guilt tripping, gaslighting, or playing the victim. For instance, if your friend always makes you feel guilty for not spending enough time with them, or accuses you of being selfish when you prioritize your needs, they may be using manipulation to control you. Trusting your intuition is essential when identifying red flags in relationships. Your gut feeling can often be a valuable source of information, alerting you to potential problems before they escalate. If you have a nagging feeling that something is off about a person or a relationship, it's essential to take that feeling very seriously and explore it further. By understanding the reasons behind attracting toxic relationships and learning to identify red flags, you can empower yourself to break free from the destructive patterns and cultivate healthier, more fulfilling connections. In the next section, we'll discuss strategies for breaking the cycle of toxic attraction and fostering self-growth to attract positive relationships. Breaking the cycle of toxic attraction. Building self-esteem and self-worth is crucial to breaking the cycle of toxic attraction. When you have a strong sense of your own value, you're less likely to tolerate poor treatment from others. Engage in activities that make you feel good about yourself. Surround yourself with supportive people and challenge negative self-talk to help boost your self-esteem and self-worth. Developing healthy boundaries is essential for preventing toxic relationships. Establishing clear limits on what you will and will not accept from others can help you protect your emotional well-being. Communicate your boundaries assertively and consistently, and be willing to enforce them when necessary. Practicing boundary setting will empower you to maintain healthier relationships. Furthermore, addressing codependency and seeking therapy can be incredibly beneficial in breaking the cycle of toxic attraction. Working with a mental health professional can help you understand the root causes of codependency, develop healthier coping mechanisms, and learn strategies to maintain more balanced relationships. Therapy can also provide valuable support and guidance as you navigate the process of change. Fostering self-awareness and introspection is key to developing free from toxic patterns. Reflect on your past relationships and identify any recurring themes or patterns that may be contributing to your attraction to toxic individuals. Journaling, meditation, and mindfulness practices can help you gain insights into relationship dynamics and recognize areas for personal growth. Cultivating healthier relationships involves consciously choosing partners and friends who treat you with respect, support your growth, and share your values. Be intentional about the people you surround yourself with and prioritize relationships that are nurturing and uplifting. In conclusion, understanding the reasons behind attracting toxic relationships, recognizing red flags, and taking steps to break the cycle of toxic attraction are critical in fostering healthier connections. By working on your self-esteem and self-worth, developing healthy boundaries, addressing codependency, and fostering self-awareness and introspection, you can create more fulfilling and supportive relationships. It's important to remember that you have the power to take control of your life and relationships. Breaking free from toxic patterns requires courage, effort, and self-compassion. but the rewards are well worth it. Embrace the opportunity to cultivate healthier relationships that enrich your life and contribute to emotional well-being. To further explore the topic, consider seeking professional help from a therapist, joining a support group, or exploring self-help resources such as books, podcasts, and online forums. Remember, you're not alone in your journey towards healthier relationships, and there are many resources available to help you along your way. Click one of the videos below for more information on the topic. See you next time.